and a half later, there is a leak. Drip, 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 and there's a puddle. This was an hour and a half later after McGinnis had me inspected and there was nothing there. And then there was a stench. So I think it was a setup. I know it was a setup. It was a setup because it wasn't there before. Okay, this is another picture taken from...
If you slightly pull the little plunger thing and slightly open up the thing, it would create a drip.
You think they did that?
Yes.
Yes. And
Absolutely.
we've had several circumstances
that
have been described in this
situation.
Who do you think has been the one doing
Gina
that?
and Alex, these two here. Now look here. These two, they're residents, and they're there at every scene of the crime, and they're wearing 8502 shirts, and they're setting people up. They're setting people up.
Did you confront them?
I told her. I said, well, there wasn't anything before. How come it's now? Well, it's not me. That's what she said.
And
So-
have you asked them flat out?
Yes, I did.
And what kind of answer did you get?
Just denial. Just denial. They said it was there. I said, no, it wasn't there. Just swallowed them.
Why are they so engaged?
They want
They
I
seem to
don't
think
know.
they're victimized. Arturo was at the meeting that was at the Venice
I
Beach.
want to give you this. In case I don't know if you had this or not, sweetie. I want to give you
The
a copy.
actual boardwalk task force meeting that we had the week before, and they were expressing how they were feeling victimized, and they've been in everything that's been going on. They feel that they've been the one that's been getting hurt over it because
Yeah, and basically what it is everybody is so, and I'm so afraid now. After I was arrested, I was coming down California, coming back from the library because I do a lot of volunteer work for them. And they, like I said, I'm working for them tomorrow. But I was coming eastbound on California, then to make a left onto 7th Street, going northbound. They were coming this way. They saw me and I went, oh, right. I look like this. They made a turn on Linden, came back and followed me. So I took off that, went down San Miguel, and they didn't see where I went because the truck was blocking their view. They went down Brooks. I came out and right on top of them, passed them like this. They went around, made a U-turn at the
Who was this?
McGinnis and Gonzalez, and they were following me.
this is a
harass
couple
me.
of pictures of them as well.
This is them.
McInnes and this is the
This
back
is
of
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez. She's
Well,
a
you
Latino woman.
have to file a complaint.
I am going to file a
I mean,
complaint.
if these officers...
And now-
Filing complaints. I have filed complaints before.
Yeah.
That's
Complaints
when they
don't go
took her
anywhere.
motorhome.
They don't even keep correct information on file.
When I-
For instance, you file a complaint that somebody's pulled a gun on you, then they write you a letter back saying, "Oh, that use of pepper spray was justified." You see, they're not even keeping these records straight at all. Okay, I had them once.
Did you get a chance
Okay,
to
now,
talk to the
when she's-
captain out there?
Yes, I did.
And did you share this with him?
Yes, I did. Yes,
What
I
did he say?
Well, he thinks that it's a little bit over the top. He thinks that we might be overreacting, but no. I've been on the front line, sir, watching all of this stuff. And that's one thing that my integrity is. I do not lie. I will fight to my end. I will not lie. I've done other bad things in my life.
I appreciate
you
what
know.
you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not an act. I'm just starting to be an activist. I'm not in politics, but I'm starting to get into it because I'm seeing such injustice done. Okay, and I see them when on the beat on the 3rd Street. They come at 5 o'clock in the morning. Woo woo, and they'll start with a flashlight, the big headlight, and with all the homeless people. And they're knocking on doors. My girlfriend, Terry, she's handicapped. She can hardly walk. She's overweight. She's in her late 60s. She has been sick in bed for 4 days now because they constantly knock on her door and try to get her motor home. She's afraid to come out. She sits in her car all the time. And she's sick right now. She can't even get out of bed. So I told her if she needs anything, I'll come get it for her. And they're just dying.
Where is she?
She's on Lincoln, over there where Staples is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she needs
She's
help
on the
too.
lawsuit.
Yeah.
She filed a lawsuit?
She's on the
Part of the lawsuit?
I'm not. I don't think I'm on it. No, but she is. I just want to be placed. I never asked to be out here in the first place. But like I said, because my dogs are my life.
Will they not give you a spot where you can bring your dogs? In the Section 8 housing or any of
I
that?
don't know.
Have you gone to the St. Joseph Center?
They can't help me. I've tried several times, 3 times in the last 6 years.
Arturo, could you get her with the St. Joseph Center?
They
And
won't.
set that
They
up?
won't. They won't help me. They said they can't help me. They have not been very helpful.
It's Tony, right?
And like I said, they're my life. This is the only family I have. My family's kind of abandoned me, and
Where are they?
my older sister's in Northwood Village in Irvine, and she's got a handicapped husband that's causing a lot of finances and you know, hardship for her. And then my younger sister's in Laguna Niguel, my brother's in San Francisco, who lives in beautiful wall units for offices and stuff like that. It's gorgeous work. And then my other brother's in Las Vegas, and he does furniture sales. He's a big time furniture salesman. So, you know, none of them can help me. Nobody can, you know, my mother's on a fixed income. She's 86 years old, and she's handicapped, got a colostomy bag. So I try to stay near her to help her.
Where is she?
She's on Lincoln and Ashland in Santa Monica. I was born and raised in Santa Monica.
Is that right?
Yeah. John Adams Junior High, Grand Elementary, Santa Monica High, Santa Monica City.
And what kind of a place does she have?
She has the assisted living, VOA, Volunteers of America.
Mm-hmm.
She lives there. Yeah. And I try to apply there, but they want to take one dog under 20 pounds. And I've got 3 that are 40 pounds.
Where are they right now?
The dogs, they're in my motorhome. They're waiting for me with the door open and the gate open. But they're at the church. We're in sanctuary with Pastor Allen because as soon as I come out there and leave the motorhome, they are going to take my motorhome. I need some. That's why I came to do this. I need protection. These people are hitting me heavy. You know. And if I lose my home, I told them I might as well take the gun and just shoot me.
You're in sanctuary at the Methodist Church?
No,
Where
Baptist. Remember where you gave the certificate?
Oh, that's where you are.
That's where I am.
I see. And
But he told me I can't stay there forever, and I said
Why?
I need because he said insurance reasons.
the pastor said that?
Yeah, and that maybe you can talk
Is
to
that
him.
the minister that I met that day?
The black man, yeah, that you gave a certificate and came to the church and you danced with us and stuff. Remember I did the
Oh,
videotaping?
yeah.
I did the videotaping for the church.
But I'm kind of surprised to hear that he's putting some time constraints on you.
I know. Well,
When
no,
did
he's
you
just
start
saying
doing
I need to get out as soon as possible. I said I'm
Oh,
doing the best I
Well,
can.
look, as soon as possible, when we get the vehicles to homes, can they bring their dogs there?
That's up to the facility.
That's what I'm saying, because I can't be separated from them. They've
I
never
totally
been,
agree
you know what I'm
with you.
saying? And they're
I'm
good
sure,
dogs and
I
they don't
like
piss and
dogs.
shit
I
all
have a
over.
dog, yeah.
Okay, and they're good dogs. Well, you guys know my dogs, and she's got great dogs too.
The city of LA since the Skid Row attacks about 4 years ago.
So it's like, you know, she needs help, I need help. I mean, they've
I'm
taken
gonna
her
speak,
home.
I'm gonna speak for me. I
Okay,
want
that's
you to
fine.
go ahead and speak
All
for
right.
yourself.
So yeah, this is what I'm concerned with. That's why I made the appointment with you so that you could talk to me as a human being, you and I together, so you can know who I am
Right.
and where I'm coming from.
Right.
And that some of these other people having these same issues that are good people that are there are people that are motorhomes that all they want to do is party and they're just screwing up.
Right.
But there are a lot of us, and all the people that I know are good people in motorhomes.
Have you talked at all with the PATH group? Have they interviewed you?
They came and interviewed me, took my pictures and stuff, gave me a card, gave me this, they gave me another card, and none of them you can connect to them. She no longer works there. Don't know how
This is
to.
the St. Joseph Center.
Yeah, they no longer work there. The guy, his name is Pat. His name is let's see. His name is. I know that you have so much on your. Rudy. This number you call it, his voicemail box is full. You can't get through. They said they're going to come back.
As for anyone who's been in any way in their own sensibilities affected, but we are putting.
I know he's been out sick. He was out sick.
Yeah, they never came back.
Rudy Salinas.
Yeah. Is it getting through the voicemail this time?
Yeah. Well, it's ringing.
Yeah, but it won't. They'll say that the mailbox is full, so you can't get through. And
You're right.
absolutely, I'm not lying. I don't lie.
No, I'm certainly not suggesting you do, but
No,
I was
no.
hoping I could get somebody and I
I
could say
would.
something.
Same here because it's been like this,
Now,
and
Rudy works at.
Works under Joel Roberts.
everybody that I talk to, that nobody can help me. No, they sent me back from Hampton, St. Joe's to Lincoln, St. Joe's, like 4 times in one day, and nobody could help me. Nobody knows what's going on. There's nothing in place. People's homes have already been taken. There was 86 motorhomes, because I kept track of all of them. 86 motorhomes in Venice. When they had that spillage incident, they came out, the Hyperion, well, the sanitation came out and gave us vouchers, so we kept track, and I kept track, and it was 86, okay? Now, I counted, now there's 17 to 20 in all of Venice. I've gone and checked all of them. There's 17 to 20 motorhomes in
Where are the
Venice.
rest?
Gone. They've been impounded, or they've left. They run off. They run them off. You've arrested people. One of the guys that was parked, he had a bounder parked on 3rd Street, and he works for one of the guys there. He does all the maintenance of all the buildings, all the art galleries around there. Okay, they arrested him. They took the motor home. They got it back. 2 weeks later, he came back to do some work for the guy. The cops were immediately there and took it again, because that was his only transportation to get there. So they took it again. So now they're on the streets with their 2 guys.
I'm a disabled woman. I have 4 service animals. Earlier this month, it was about a month ago, the LAPD came up, asked to speak to me. I had just parked the vehicle, minutes, and they had no probable cause. I wasn't doing anything wrong. They ended up taking me to jail. What they do to women is they ship them down to South Central. So that's where I was abandoned, in South Central. I had to find my way home. My motor home was stolen from me, was taken to the valley. Like I even have money to bring it back from the valley. They wanted $800 just for one day. Other people had their motorhome taken over, because it's a smaller motorhome, over to Bruffy's, and they were able to get their vehicle out for free.
No,
They were. Some people were able to get their vehicles out for free.
That's great.
They took all 4 of my dogs and threw them in the pound. They said they wanted $1,000 to get them out. So I added it up, $1,000 for bail, or to be able to get myself out of jail, $1,000 for the motorhome after a couple days, and $1,000 for the dog. That's $3,000 a day. The officers are bragging that they can do this to me every day. I have Steve Clare, who runs the Venice Community Housing Corporation, explain how he's overhearing the officers laughing and bragging about how I probably still haven't got my motorhome out and probably still haven't got my dogs out, and how funny that was and how much good time they had.
Do you know what officer that was?
I guess Steve Clare would have to be able to answer those questions. There were several officers involved.
McGinnis, Gonzalez.
Tell me, did you contact Peggy Kennedy and she got a hold of me?
Peggy
Let your
Kennedy is the
dogs
one who
out?
had to pick me up at South Central, okay? So Peggy Kennedy absolutely has been
What about the
an
dogs?
ally. She had tried to contact you asking if the dogs could be released.
They
I
weren't
had to
released
pay.
to me.
I had to pay to get them out. I had to borrow.
How much
from
did you have to
everyone.
pay?
I had to pay $300 for the dogs, and I had to pay $800 or $800 for the vehicle. That's $1,100 that I don't have.
She had to borrow
And what about yourself?
She
getting
can
out of
tell you I had
jail?
to borrow
money from me, my mother. That's
her
on
$50.
$50 for my 86-year-old mother. I begged her because she needed that much just to get it out. That was all she needed to get it. That was left, and she was short $50. So I begged my mother. I said, please.
I have had places. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places that I stay, so that I am not breaking the law. Out of those 5 places, one friend has disowned me. When they're in Culver City, I'm not able to park my vehicle. I have 2 places in Venice I could stay, but because when I went to go face the charges that were filed against me, the judge automatically signs a keep-away order from nighttime for me. Now, what are they doing? Filing these lawsuits so that they can keep you away from being able to safely stay in somebody's home? So what that does is that forces them into the street so that they have to stay in their motorhome, and they're being forced to break the law.
Yeah.
Okay? This is guilt by association. Just because I own a motorhome, it does not mean that I am breaking the law. It's unconstitutional restriction. I'm being targeted.
Yeah, I'm being targeted.
It's no different than COINTELPRO, when they have these programs where they constantly create hysteria around you until your association is gone, and your livelihood or your any kind of presence or state of mind that is rational is gone.
Yeah, they take every piece of dignity that you have.
I asked for the officers' cards. They They refused to give me identifying cards, which was supposed to be the law on request. They had no probable cause. They had this other the supervisor who showed up while I'm locked in here. Here's a couple pictures if you want to see them of me. This is my motorhome. This is this is all the officers convening. This is me in the vehicle. And this is Yoshioka, who loves to, obviously he loves to taser people, because twice I had to deal with him and his taser impulses.
Did he taser you?
No, he didn't. But this is the threats that I have to deal with. When I was down at that jail, I was getting molested by this other woman. This isn't like a life that you want to deal with. I had no clothes on my body. I was absolutely freezing. My teeth were shaking, chattering
They wouldn't give
much.
us blankets. They wouldn't give us food. Nothing. I was freezing too.
So much that I literally was having to hyperventilate in order to keep
toilet
my
paper on
body
my
warm.
arms. Yeah, and it's Yoshioka as the main one.
Now, first of
This
all,
is
being
also
physically
Yoshioka.
searched
Again, it's
at
the
all is a violation. I don't know if you've ever had to have your body physically searched.
It's not fun.
These kinds of costs are prohibitive on these kinds of income. I was kept from sleeping quarters with friends, peaceful meetings, activistic endeavors, coastal access, access to food in the evening facilities, laundry. But there's a number of things that I'm being denied right as we speak because of these incidences.
What are they denying you right now?
Like I said,
Stay
I was
away.
a keep-away order
She can't come back.
From where?
Venice.
from Venice.
She can't come in
On
here.
what ground did they give you that?
That's what I'm trying to say. On what grounds?
What did they say when you say that?
Nothing.
Because the city attorneys, because the officers have bragged that they are requesting a keep-away order from me, and that this is something that they can do. They can they can walk in my vehicle, search my home at any time. This is what they are bragging that they can do.
Right, and that's illegal. It's a home.
And this is what they are doing.
They
This is
are.
not just what they're threatening to do. They
They
have
are.
done it repeatedly to me.
They've done it to other people too.
Being kept away from the Venice lot. You say that we could park here safely in this lot. Well, my vehicle's too large to be able to park in this lot.
It's 35 feet, you know.
It's 37 feet
Well,
long.
37 feet long.
I have a storage unit that I paid for. This is not on street storage.
How long have you lived in the vehicle?
I have, like I said, I have places that I can stay. So I do not say that I'm living in this
I didn't
vehicle.
say you were.
Okay, well
How long have you had the
this is
vehicle?
this is my third motorhome. I first got my first motorhome after I was disabled, and it was
How
going
long
through
ago was that?
It's been 7 years. I have been living in Venice for the last 4 or 5 years after being pushed out of Santa Monica for similar reasons.
Where were you in Santa Monica?
On Franklin Street, it's over by Sentinel.
Yeah.
It's
Where the warehouse areas, where factories and stuff are.
had to deal with repeated harassment. I don't know how many times I can tell you I've had my
Oh,
vehicle
gotcha.
surrounded by officers in the valley, on the west side, everywhere. And they're telling me, oh, you can't park here, you can't park there. It's like, no,
constant.
it's a lie. They don't know, they don't understand the law. I said, what's your probable cause? These officers, I said, and I say, being in my vehicle? He says, yes. I said, being in my vehicle is not against the law. That is not probable cause.
And what did they say when you said?
That's it. That's it. They just, like I said, they're hauling me in. Because this is what they think harassment is the way to deal with them. Like she's saying, where are they? Well, they're hiding.
Yeah.
Do
They're
you think
waiting.
it's called displacement.
No,
Do you
they're
think
waiting.
they just suddenly found a place to live off the street? No, it's made their life worse, harder for them to
Yeah.
find a life.
No, our lives are just horrible, Mr. Rosendahl. It's just horrible.
I've been given 72-hour
I'd
tickets,
say it's 10 years.
which is against the California codes when it comes to disabilities.
We got
They're supposed to make reasonable accommodations for the disabled.
What do they say about that when you tell them you're disability?
This is what
I'll
they
show you
do.
tickets they
They
give
just
me.
sit there and they'll just keep on saying to you, hey, you know, when we take you down there, down to get that medical check. You know, anything you say to them can be used against you, you know. It's like all this coercion to say, don't mention your medical problems. Don't mention any kind of mental problems. Don't mention anything because, you know, we could all keep you in there a little bit longer. It could delay things, you know.
Yeah, they do that. They do.
Did you ever go to the St. Joseph Center?
I spent years going
What
to
did they
St. Joseph.
say?
They don't
They
help.
do not have available housing for people with animals.
Nothing. I know. So we're stuck out
I
here.
said, you
and
love
we're
me, said,
abused.
sweet little dog. Okay, yeah, well, I do too. Well, you know what? To have your 4 animals taken care,
Taken
pulled away from you and thrown into jail
That's the
is one of the worst things. You have no idea. They were abused too. They didn't get to go to the bathroom. My little dog got such a bad bladder infection after that she had to go into the hospital.
Where are your other dogs now?
They're
in the
in my car.
They're okay?
Yeah, they're fine. They're safe. We rode all in my car, and my babies are in the motorhome.
This is about at the
With the
meeting.
girlfriend.
At the meeting, we mentioned it down at the task force at the Venice Beach boardwalk, and Peggy Thusen was making it real clear. Okay, we can't answer any questions about, you know, the RV situation because there's pending litigation. Oh, does that mean that you're no longer able to respect people as of this moment? No, the reality is that this is just once again, a bullshit excuse to not provide services. She said, I asked her about the numbers of officers on the team here. Okay, 42 to 44 officers, 21 which were loaned. After January 1st, those officers are going to be pulled back. That means that the officers are left over. Here, let's round it off to a nice 21 again. Okay, 21. If there's 8 officers, which was confirmed by several sources that are on this team, which she seems to be calling a task force that is supposed to be providing services, which is a blatant lie.
Lie. Absolutely.
If that is the truth, that those 8 officers are going to be kept as far as RV patrol, that's fully more than 1/3 of the whole Pacific Division's police force being devoted to harassing those leftover 20 motorhomes.
Right. Yeah, and that's what they're
I want to be able to come park my motorhome back over here.
They're hitting hard and heavy. And
But do I have to make sure that I dress in 3 layers of clothes on an 80-degree day? Because I'm afraid to walk out of my motorhome without being grabbed so that I'll have enough clothes on me so that when I go down to the jail and I'm thrown into the South Central, 10 o'clock at night so that I at least have some sort of a jacket on.
Yeah, I was trying to touch.
You know what it's like to feel terror that you're going to be abducted at any moment?
No.
Let me read you the letter that I wrote to you recently, Mr. Rosendahl. Dear Councilman Rosendahl, I tried calling Path and was not able to leave a message with my name and number regarding my interest in the Streets to Homes program. I was told once I got through to someone today named Vicky, who seems to be under a director named Carlos Gonzalez, that the Streets to Homes program is not available.
It's not.
She said to call back in a month. I couldn't even leave a phone number. Begging to leave a phone number when it was available. I sit here terrorized at the thought of the next time I'm arrested, taken to the South Central Jail, my vehicle towed to the valley, and my dog is put in the pound. I'm wondering if the Streets to Jails to the Streets to Home program should be renamed Streets to Jails.
Yeah.
Where in the city can I park safely? Can I have a voucher from Dockweiler until this program is up and running?
You can't because
I am a disabled woman and my basic services are being denied to me right now because I'm being kept away from my meals, my doctor, and my home. At least Dockweiler is on the west side. Please contact me as soon as possible on my phone number. Regarding this, I do not have access to the internet.
let me tell you about Dockweiler too.
This letter this email was returned by Arturo Pena here. He did not mention the Dockweiler question that I had. He did say that the program with Path was going to be put into place, and basically that was a good luck to that. There was no real solutions to anything.
Okay.
So my question is, once again, where am I to park safely in the city?
Yeah, that's my question too. That's what we're begging for. We need help. We need some backing. The other
I
thing with
totally agree with you with the vehicles to home program, put you in a safe location where you can get a good night's sleep and not be harassed. I totally agree with you.
Mr. Rosendahl, you know what the biggest, the hardest time that they're hitting is not at night. I'm not worried about parking on the streets at night. It's in the morning. It's from 5 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon with the task force. That's when they're hitting everybody. They're following people in their cars, their vans. If it looks like you live in it, they're arresting them and impounding their vehicles. Cars, vans, motorhomes, anything. They followed this lady from Santa Monica all the way down Lincoln into the marina, pulled her over and said, we see you in Venice again, we're taking your vehicle, your RV.
And these are people that are specifically being targeted because they have been noted as being activists in the community.
Yeah.
And I can list a number of these people.
Minister and the church. How many campers do they have in the lot?
Just me and Eric right now, because Eric works for the children's
Do they have
program up
enough
there.
space for hers?
He won't take her.
You won't?
No.
Wow.
Because he thinks, because my neighbors complain, I already talked to all the neighbors and they're good with me. I would be more than happy to have her come stay with us in there. Maybe you can talk to him about it. I don't know. He said because of the insurance situation. I don't see why if all the little churches all over Venice would take 2 or 3 motorhomes, that would be a solve right there. I mean, you know, I keep the lot clean. I keep puppy bags. I walk my doggies there at the park in the mornings for 2 hours and the evenings for 2 hours. I run my errands and the dogs are with me all day long, you know. That's what the dog is, my doggy mobile, because I want them with me.
But Councilman Rosendahl, do you realize what a disaster it was when you got up at that meeting and announced that jails exist for people who do not follow these rules, that you're putting it into the people's minds that this is where we belong, is in jails, and that it places in the minds of these poor preachers that they're going to be complicit in the lawbreakers in order to support them staying in these lots of the churches.
Yeah.
This is something that you have facilitated.
I'm sorry
You know what?
that's the way it came out.
Yeah, because you know what, Mr. Rosendahl, with Dockweiler, I've stayed there a couple times when I had just the 3 dogs. And the second time that I went to Dockweiler, they said, next time you can only bring 2. I said, what do you want me to do with the 3rd? Shoot it? So they don't allow more than 2 dogs down there. And like I said, in my letter to you back in 2006, I researched all the motor parks around here. Okay, and you'll see it down here. I made another copy for you. Dockweiler is at least $1,500 a month, and that's for 3 months. And that was 4 years ago. Okay?
No, you're only allowed to stay for 3 weeks. It's
Yeah, 3
$1,200 to stay for 3 weeks.
3 weeks, okay, and then you have to stay out for a week, and then you can come back in for another 3 weeks, and they have to go out again. So it's $1,500 or more now, just to stay in there for 3 weeks.
You can only stay for 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly, and you get an apartment for that. And they won't take my dogs, they won't take my 3 dogs, now I got 4. I'm not gonna get, you know, they're my life, you know, so. And the little ones aren't gonna be around that much longer, you know, because they're older, but, you
Have
know.
you met with Captain Peters at all? Have you talked to him?
I talked with him, he's gonna work with me.
Have you met him?
What is he going to do? Pull a rabbit out of a hat? The Streets to Homes program
You
isn't
need to
up.
talk to him anyway, though.
What's being set up right now is John Peters and Charlie Beck have given the instructions to this team that they are to do this
I know.
at all
And hitting hard
costs.
and heavy.
As the supervisor who was standing in front of the police car, while I'm watching, is bragging. What the community asked for this, the community will get it. As if I am not
The
the community.
And,
As if I asked for this.
right.
This
and
is
you know
an
what?
insult to my
And
intelligence.
the thing too is, I talked to a lot of people in the community, and I'm telling you,
They are fine.
everybody
I could have
that I
plenty of
spoke
letters
with-
written saying they're fine with me parking over there.
yeah, they have no problem with us here. They said
If
this
you-
is part of the Venice culture. We have no problem with. I have only run into a couple people like these, the 2 ladies, and a few people that are the new Venetians, the yuppie types that don't want us here because of the money situation. Everybody that I talk to is that they're on our side. Everybody. So where's
It's a
it
lie.
coming from?
It's a lie.
Where's it coming from? So, you know.
And we're getting the short end of the stick.
I know. We don't want to
The
keep it too
carrot
long.
and the stick.
Yeah. Just, we need your help. That's what we can do, Mr. Dog. Well, originally it was just
I'm just
me.
asking to park.
Somewhere safe.
Do you see that?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. And like, you know what, the thing too,
I'm not
Mr. Rosendahl.
asking you to, say, okay, out of everybody, it's okay for me to break the law. I'm not
I
asking you for that,
understand, I
okay?
understand.
Yeah, but the thing is too, is that most of these motorhome people, if you noticed, we don't try to park in front of people's homes.
Right.
We try to stay like in the alleyways or in industrial areas,
Right.
like on 3rd Street.
Right.
Nobody complains
I
about it.
will park in
We
Venice
have-
Family Clinic.
everybody
If you look
loves
at
us
the
down
clinic,
there.
during the daytime, it gets busy, of course, because there's people that come to the clinic, but they have 3 specific parking lots that are set up specifically for those people that need to be able to access that business.
So have you
And,
gone
and
to
if
the
you
Venice
look on the
Family
weekends,
Clinic?
and if you look on the weekends where I used to park, there's no one there.
It's always empty. Yeah.
It's empty.
Have you asked them to park in their parking lot?
No, they don't have a problem with me. As a matter of fact, they didn't have. They were quite happy with me around there. My
I used to
vehicle
park there
would
too.
block the things that would go on there at night, that would radiate and create noises for the neighborhood. I would also get up and make sure that I was over there checking on my vehicle and cleaning up. And you and everyone will testify how I'm constantly picking up
Me too. Constantly cleaning up for everybody else. And most
other
of them-
people's trash, other people's dog shit. Homeless people who are shitting, it doesn't matter.
I'm
will
doing
clean
it.
I'm the one who cleans
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
If there's somebody who smashes a window open on the street on somebody's car, who's going to clean it up? I'll wait a certain period of time, seeing if who's going to clean this up. It doesn't get cleaned up. I'm the one who's out there making sure I'm sweeping all that
Is
glass
your
up.
vehicle in a safe spot now?
Well, I moved it this morning. Right now, I've put it. I mean, what is safe? I
Let's get
got.
Bob
I
in there.
had officers over there. It's not in Venice, because I'm dealing with a keep-away order, which I think is absolutely unconstitutional.
How long is this keep away order in place?
Well, I mean, I showed up.
Copy of it?
Let me answer. No,
Yeah,
as a matter of fact, I wasn't given anything, which makes it illegal, really. But
You didn't get a keep away order?
no, I was not given anything. It was just the judge had given it orally. And
No,
of course,
no,
I'm
you
not
have
one
to
to want
have
to be.
something in
Like
writing.
I said, it's not legal. But because the juror.
You have to pick it up at the courthouse.
You have to pick it up in the courthouse.
Okay, well, I was not given a copy of that order, nor instructed that I had to pick it up at the courthouse, which does not mean which means that there wasn't a due process that was given to me, so that I was able to follow in order to keep those laws kept up. What was I going to say? I forgot now.
Well, while you're thinking, do you have her name and number and all?
Yeah, I have her contact.
Get all this
You
stuff.
do.
Okay.
Part of the Streets to Homes program, though, does include that component, though, once it gets up and running, is to allow congregations and churches, if they're interested in opening up their parking lot, to allow individuals or families or whomever to be
And
part of that
creating
program.
a safe place for those churches as well, so that they're not going to
Correct,
get the.
because we have
Yeah.
examples like this, and we've heard from some of our congregations where they are definitely interested in doing that, because you're absolutely right, it provides a security component for them in the late hours of the night.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm not worried about pulling my motorhome on the streets at night. That's when they're coming
All right,
at
let
us
me
in the
just
morning.
ask you this.
The task force in the
What can we
morning.
do for her now until the program is up and running?
The problem is, and they identified it, is again, the system that's set up doesn't allow services for folks or families that have pets.
Why? Is that in our
That-
Not
program
fair.
too?
That hasn't been laid out in the program, it hasn't even been discussed yet.
Well, just make it clear, the program I'm instituting, from vehicles to homes, that they should be allowed to have their pets.
Thank you, Mr. Rose.
That,
I
yeah,
mean, that's a no-brainer for me. I
we can talk to
respect-
some of the congregations,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
respect people's love of animals. I'm an animal lover, and
I'll lay down my life for a child,
for
an
many
animal.
people,
Yeah.
it is as important as if it was a child.
Yeah.
And they should
I
get
never
that-
had children. These
No,
are
they
my
should-
children.
They should get that respect, so make sure our program has
Thank you.
that. in
There's
it.
an opportunity for it.
Okay.
I believe the other key piece that was raised here, if these allegations against the police are definitely legitimate. I know you mentioned you filed a complaint, but I believe that was through the system at Pacific Division. There is a police commission, and let's remember why the police commission was created.
Okay.
This goes back to the civil rights days. Again, it's a community body of folks that are set up to hear complaints of this magnitude. They have an office, they have a phone number, I can give the phone number to you. They have staffers there, and they take all this information. It's an independent body. They actually provide oversight to the police department.
Okay.
Now, the LAPD just got out of a federal consent decree because, again, they claimed that they were doing everything by the book and they're not harassing folks, not doing racial profiling. But if some of these things are still occurring, again, these are the type of things that the police commission needs to hear about.
Okay.
So I'll
Well,
give you
I'm
the
gonna
number
file my
before we leave.
complaint. I'm gonna file my complaints, absolutely. But it's just, like I said, that's why, one of the reasons I came here to see Mr. Rosendahl is because of everything that's been going on and everything that I've been observing. But now I'm being targeted, okay? Now I'm being harassed and threatened. And when it comes to my dogs, animal control tried to take my dogs last year because I was, a false report was put on my dog by my mechanic because he's psycho for chasing the dogs. And they took my dogs, all of them,
God.
you know? And I
Is
went,
it
almost had a
possible
nervous
if we
breakdown.
can turn it off for a second so I can ask a question?
Bo, she's talking to the whole thing. Bear's RV, they also took Elizabeth's RV, but do not know if they took Elizabeth, but cannot find her. I saw Elizabeth, by the way, she's okay. The police went to 6th and they took the white RV that was always parked on Broadway and 6th. Every day they take 1 to 4 RVs. Very soon there will be no one left, and that's lovely Terry. Now Terry is the lady that they're harassing right now. She's the elderly woman. She's older than us, and she's really handicapped, really bad. And they're really harassing and scaring her to death. She's going to be the next one who's going to keel over dead because it's just getting to her. I mean, she's a mess. She's in bed right now. And I told her that I would speak up for her today because it's getting that bad.
This is, Arturo wrote this down.
Okay, honey.
It's make a complaint to the commission.
Okay, can you write me one more for Terry, please?
Sure.
Well, thank you very much. Because it seems like they're focusing more on women too, so. Got that.
We want you to contact them.
The
And then I
commission.
want, do you know how to reach Cecilia?
She gave me her card somewhere, right here.
Please, both of you,
Okay,
stay
thank you.
close to Cecilia.
Okay, and can I do that with Terry too, because this was the thing.
Sure.
I can read it to you again, or you can read it if you want real quick.
No.
I just read it real quick. This one was, this is for
Frankly-
Terry, the lady that's really handicapped and they're harassing her. She's sick in bed. She's gonna have a heart attack for this one from these police officers. And it's Yoshioka, McGinnis, and Gonzalez are the main ones that are doing this to her. I'm telling you right now, I'm at that point now that I'm ready to speak and say who they are. I was trying to keep their name out of it, but you know what? Now that they're harassing me and following me, I'm gonna say their names. And they're gonna come at me harder and heavier now. They're gonna come at me harder and heavier.
Well, you just make
So-
sure you tell them clearly you met with the councilman,
Right,
okay?
Okay.
That I respect the two of you.
Thank you
And
very
I
much.
want you to be treated with respect.
Thank you. Thank
Okay?
you. I've been here all my life, that's what I'm saying.
I'm serious about
Thank
this.
you.
I want you to call that number, and then tell Cecilia where you're at.
Okay.
In the meantime, if anybody from the policing department comes out, you go back to her immediately on this, because I wanted both of you, but you met
Yeah,
with
but you
Peters for a
can't,
little
you
bit.
can't
I did.
until you're, after you've been abducted.
Yeah, no, to avoid this.
Yeah,
is what I
this is what
wanna
I'm saying,
do.
this is what I came to ask you, is there anything that you could write for us that we can put in the window to keep us safe, to keep them
I
away
don't
from
have the
it?
power to do that.
Okay, all right.
I don't have the power to do
Okay,
that.
okay.
You know,
Well, that's all
the law, unfortunately, and I've said this publicly to my colleagues, that's why I want to modify the law, and I want to have locations where people can legally sleep, and I'm doing a pilot project in my district. My colleagues will look at it, and my hope is, and we're pushing it through, that we can identify church lots, and we can identify community lots, and we can give people the relief that they should be getting. And my
But I'm
hope
not,
is we can get it
but
done.
you but because you didn't get it up at the same time or previously to these oversized vehicle ordinances which have gone in, honestly, we're not believing that there's any programs that are gonna be provided at all. It's just
Because we're all
all,
gone.
it's,
We're all-
yeah, it's just like, oh, it's like if everybody's motorhome gets stolen from them and then the program comes up, then what good is it?
Right,
You got a
exactly.
good point there, and I certainly
Absolutely,
agree with
that
you.
was my
I've
point
been
too.
working as quickly as I can get the city's family to move in the direction of modifying the law and letting me get this done on an emergency
Well,
basis.
maybe they're trying to
Move on.
sabotage you.
I can't speak for anybody
No,
but
I'm just
myself,
saying
but I can
because-
tell you, I directly believe in a program
Thank you, I
that
appreciate
would
that.
give you that support, and I don't want to see you abused in any way, shape, or
I
form.
know, and I've been abused, my hands are numb.
But I would love for you to deal with that police issue and deal back with Cecilia with that.
Okay.
And in the meantime, just, we will get this program up and running. And if between now and then, you go through these harassment stages like you've just described, get a
Call.
hold of her right away, okay?
Okay.
And if we
Call
could
me.
have gotten her with Captain Peters, just so that he
I
sees
know,
his
that's why I
face.
was, yeah, I wish
I
you would
think
have
it
been.
would be very good as well, because he's a very sensitive guy. Would you,
He said they were
would
talking
you
about me this morning.
facilitate with Captain Peters
To meet with her.
what we've had here, and that the councilman is requesting that he meet with her. And I want him to meet with her as quickly as he can. And I'd like him to hear what I've heard here. And I want him to assist with me in working on this issue. I don't want to see you in any way abused, and I apologize for that.
Do you actually have a number that I can relate to the captain?
310-401-4788.
4788?
Yes, sir. Yeah, well, as it is right now, these officers that are on this team are saying that Charlie Beck, Captain Peters are the ones who've instructed them to do this, and that they have been told that A, they can search my vehicle at any time, and B,
That's
that
what
they
they're
can do
saying.
this to me every day.
Yes.
Okay, this is what they've been told. So I do not believe that these officers are lying to me. I imagine that they're telling me the truth. In this case, I imagine that they're telling me the truth, that these are the orders that they've gotten from higher up.
Let's get him with Captain Peters right away. Okay?
No, because you know what? I believe they're lying. I do.
Well,
Because I've seen them straight out lie.
I certainly don't believe they're lying, but
Right.
I definitely
Well, I hope
believe
not,
that
but-
Captain Peters and you have a conversation.
Okay. Thank you so
And I'm
much.
sorry you're going
Why
through
don't
this.
you try to set us up a meeting then?
What was your full name again?
DESIRI.
Oh, we don't want to keep you much longer. Just
That's okay. I've been at it all
Last
day.
name's
I know,
Hopkins.
baby.
HAWKINS.
Okay.
And you have the number.
Got it.
I just had my lunch.
It's the best way to.
Now you're gonna throw it out, right?
Call the Commission Investigation Division, 213-996-1230. And then there's the Commission Office, which is 213-236-1, and I don't know if that's a 708 or what that is.
1408.
Oh, it's a 4, okay. That's 213-236-1408, and that's the Commission Office. They do have an investigative division, and they'll respond to those phone numbers. Repeat them again, 213-996-1230 for the Commission Investigative Division, and for the Commission Overall Office, it's 213-236-1408.
Again, the investigative unit will take down the information for the individual, and they usually sign a staffer, and then it
Well,
goes from
thank you.
there.
I'm starting to see that because I didn't.